What happened before the camera turned on? What happened that made you feel disrespected? Maybe what happened before you even went to the bagel shop?
Sure. Sure. All right. I'll share it with you. Basically, well, I have a cleaning company, and I kind of lost a $900 a week account over some bullshit. And the way they did it was really fucked up, and they fucked the other person before me. So I never really recovered from that, and until now, and things are going better. And then the other thing was my ex landlord was like a total asshole, and to the point where just a very nasty, ungrateful bitch. And so finally, she says, "All right, you have 30 days." I says, "No, you know what? I can't fucking stand you so much. I'm fucking leaving tomorrow." So, and this was the first time I decided, you know what? I'm getting tired of paying landlords money, and they abuse their power. And as you know, living in New York, you don't get shit for your money compared to everywhere else in the
Yeah.
country.
Right.
So that's frustrating enough. Everybody knows that. And I says, you know what? I'm going to save some money, and because my business got a little slow, I says I'm going to live in my van since it's nice and just check it out, and which I don't anymore. It's recently that's not the case anymore, but and that's what I did. And I actually ended up having. It was actually funny because my whole life I was afraid of being homeless, and then when I was since May 2nd, I had the best time of my life. If I wasn't working, I was over at the marina fishing. It was great. And, I joined the gym. I showered there. I washed all my clothes. I ran my business. I did my calendar. I'm not a bum, and I had a great time. I had a great time, and things are finally rolling along. And then that day came, and I walked in a bagel store. And there was a woman there who I've been there a few times, and usually I deal with like the same amount of people there. And this time it happened to be a woman who never helped me before, and she kind of spoke broken English, and it was a little hard for her to understand me, and I was a little hard for me to understand her. So I basically ordered a whole wheat bagel with two egg whites cooked on both sides with because I don't like the eggs runny and stuff with cheese, with
Hmm.
American cheese. And she didn't like understand egg whites at first. And you know what's funny? Because years ago, real quick, I went to a wedding in Vermont, and they didn't even understand the concept of egg whites in Vermont. So it wasn't the whole thing. But in any event, so after like telling her 3 or 4 times, she says she understands it, and then she starts going, and she starts going on, and she's giggling, doing this crap with the butt when they bite their lip to hold their laugh back like that. And then when she
You don't want
finally went
that.
to start cooking my sandwich, as she looks over, literally she went. So finally, I says, "Excuse me, miss." I says, "What are you laughing at?" And there were 2 times prior you saw the videos where similar stuff happened in a 7-Eleven and a gas station, and now this, and I just had enough. So she wouldn't answer me. Of course, they stopped and gave me like the raccoon eyes, or no, the deer in headlights look like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Like I've never experienced. I says, "Don't even try." So then that's when they were denying it, and they were getting louder and louder. So I got louder, and then the next thing you know, all these assholes decide to butt in my business like everyone's has all my life. Would you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to talk here. So anyway, these idiots in the background, a bunch of degenerates.
Uh huh.
Anyhow, so I'm sitting, see them laughing. That's why I get along with them. You hear this crap? Anyway, so and that's basically it. And then the rest is history. You saw what happened.
What's
You
your
said
level of
that.
confidence that they were laughing at you? That there was some sort of like
It's
push.
obvious, man. Come on,
Uh huh.
it was so obvious.
He's
You
been through
said
this
you,
so
So
many
right now,
times. He fucking knows the signs and the
yeah,
signals to recognize.
you said that
yeah,
she didn't speak good
absolutely.
English.
I'm sorry.
Where did, you said she didn't speak good English.
No, she did, just slightly off, slightly off.
Uh,
But I still understood her, but
yeah, I just
she
don't
didn't
feel like
understand the
people
egg
should.
whites.
I don't feel like anybody who doesn't speak fluent English should be working behind a counter, though.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to comment on that. All I'm just saying is that it gets frustrating when you're trying to do something, and it's happened a lot. And when you can't communicate, it's frustrating as it
Yeah,
is.
if I
But
call your
I
cleaning
tried. I was
business,
nice.
if I call
Yeah.
your cleaning business and some foreigner is answering and they're blah, 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 I'm not gonna. I don't want you to clean my place now because first of all, I don't trust them to be at my place, and second of all, I can't even communicate with them.
I'm not like that. I don't judge anybody. Everybody's equal. It's just that, when you have to say something, it doesn't have anything to do with race or anything. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that basically when you're trying to say something and they don't, and would you fuckers stop? Anyway, uh, my God, it reeks in here. Anyway,
I could tell.
What does it smell like, Chris?
It smells like body odor
I
and
understand.
and like old rice.
Well, not over here. It smells like George Washington's hemp plantation. But yeah, what was I saying? No, it's basically like, and there was a similar situation before this about a month ago in a subway, but I know them. And it literally, I had to repeat myself 4 or 5 times. He kept asking me, and I said, dude, this is before this all happened. I says, dude, write it down. I says, every deli, if they don't remember shit, they write it down. I says, dude, I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but if you're asking me something 4 or 5 times, that's going to annoy anybody. And it doesn't make you look, in fact, it makes you look like an idiot. And maybe you shouldn't be working here. But that's basically what happened. So that annoyed me as it is. And then that's when I quieted down. And then that's when all the giggling started. So
I want to know what happened, like after the giggling, when you were confronted by that blue shirt guy who you couldn't really see that well at first.
right.
And you said, you want to take this outside? You want to fucking take this outside? And then he pretty much tackled you. Were you prepared to go
No.
outside, or did that
No,
blindside you?
You got it mixed up.
Oh, go ahead.
The first guy I got in his face, he didn't tackle me. The second guy did.
Okay. Were you expecting that second guy to step in or do anything, or did that blindside you totally?
No, I saw it. Listen, I was so irate. I didn't care how big they were. I didn't expect any help. I just wanted to be left alone and grab my fucking breakfast. But this guy came up to me, and he just walked up, and then he just did it so quick. So I didn't really have time to react. And then when he knocked me over on my hands and knees, he held his knee on my back. He pulled his shirt over my head. I was literally had my hands under the fucking shirt. I was trying to dial 911, and that's when it was hot out, and I was starting to slowly lose my breath.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
It seems like you end up calling the police a lot. Like, do you ever? Because I watched a few of the videos, and it's like you're calling the cops a lot. You're like, we'll see how tough you are when the cops get here.
So when you see another guy in public who's like your height or even shorter or whatever, is there like a kinship there where you're like, we get the struggle, we know what it's like?
Yeah, I have one friend who's slightly taller than me, and I mean, is he not? I think I don't know if he's divorced. I don't remember. But yeah, we like I said, I told you taller guys go through it. So it isn't just short guys. But yeah, I have one friend that's he's single now, but he's looking around. But yeah, everybody goes through dry spells and shit. It's normal. Everybody does. But
Very
yeah,
true.
being short, absolutely. I mean, these were like I just get a kick out of it. A lot of, not all women, but a lot of them are like they're 5'1" and they need a guy. You must be 5'10" or up. Like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, why? And I'm
Just
like,
because they want to crane their necks up, probably.
What's that?
They want to crane their necks up. But a woman who's 5'1" can't tell the difference between a guy who's 6 foot and a guy who's 5'8", I wouldn't think. They're still looking up, right?
Right. Is that, well, as everybody always tells me, it shouldn't matter. You're the same size in the bed. I'm like, no shit.
Yeah,
But,
everybody's the same size horizontally.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. My grandma has that sewed into a throw pillow.
All right.
R.I.P. my grandpa. Yeah. I'm trying to even narrow down all the other conflicts you've had. How do you wish you started the YouTube thing earlier so that you could have a huge backlog of all of these events over the years? Because it's only the past couple of years you've been doing it, right?
What's that? The videos?
The videos.
Yeah, I actually started in January. Actually, the first one was the one with the girl I left in the parking lot. That was the first one. I was in January of 2017.
Oh, kicking it off with a home run. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and little did I know I was building a resume. I had no idea. Yeah, who knew?
Well, you've been on quite the little adventure here over the last few months. It's been kind of a whirlwind ride for you.
Oh, it's literally like a telltale story. Literally.
Yeah.
You can make a movie out of this shit.
Yeah.
You should look into that. They made they made a movie about that guy the old Vietnam vet who beat the shit out of that guy who was being mean to him on the bus. That started as a viral video.
Yeah,
Danny Trejo played
the epic beard man. Danny Trejo played him. Yeah.
Yeah. You You can move
Yeah,
this
all
into
he did
something
was
like
beat
that.
up an old black man on a bus. You've accosted
No,
so
it was
many
an old
people.
white man and a young black man. You got to
Yeah.
remember the viral video.
See, that's a
Oh,
misconception. The black man was quite old himself.
Was
Oh,
that
well,
the
it was
one when the
grainy.
old guy said,
Yeah.
Was that the one when the old guy said, "I told you don't fuck with me"?
I told you
Yeah.
to fuck with me. I told you not to fuck with me. He hit me first. Yeah,
I think
epic
I
beard
saw
man.
that.
He really threw that black guy a beating.
Yeah, I was shocked. I'm like, wow, he was in his mid-60s.
Yeah,
At least, yeah. I was shocked too.
That's a perfect example of you never know who you're fucking with.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you could kind of tell. He looked like he was about 6'2", 250, and he was wearing a shirt that said "I'm a motherfucker." The black guy really should have
There
known.
were some red flags if you know what you're looking
There were
for.
some red flags.
Dude, he had those crawling through Hanoi forearms. Like, just ripped.
People are fucking crazy, man. I mean,
You never know who you're fucking with out there. You know, some
right.
guy. You know, like I could see you hopping out with some nunchucks or something, and I think that's your next thing. Like I would like to see you do like a whole self-defense course where you like become like a mixed martial artist.
You should vlog
Well,
it. So
it-
I have a question. So you have a video on your YouTube channel, and it's you and this woman, and you were hoping that the relationship would develop into something physical. But what baffled me is you were loaning her or giving her $750,000. I'm confused.
Yeah, let's get that clarified.
Yeah, no, there's a story behind that. First of all, she was the biggest, rudest, goddamn gold digger and fucking twat I've ever met in my life. And I hope you see this. You know who I'm talking about. Her name was Young from Queens.
Oh, she watches.
Yeah, she's a fan.
Bitch. All right. So here's the deal. She actually was trying to convince me. You ready for this?
Yeah.
That she's from planet Pluto. Okay.
Okay.
Like, trying to convince me that she has assets there, the whole 9 yards. So finally, I started fucking back with her, and because I thought she was fucking with me, and basically, I said, I said I lied to her, and I says, okay, she wanted me to look up a rocket ship ride to Pluto, so I started fucking, and I says, okay, I know somebody in NASA, they're gonna pull up the ticket, but it's gonna cost me $750,000. I just came up with a random number to see how much of a fucking gold digger she was. Never said thank you. She's, oh, okay, we'll see.
Wait. Are you telling me she didn't believe you when you said you were buying her a $750,000 ticket to Pluto from NASA?
Yeah,
The distrustful bitch.
What?
I called her a distrustful bitch. Like, it's a kind offer. Carry on with the story.
Right. So thank you, sir. So in any event, I was living in Medford. I picked her up in Queens and Flushing. Drove her out. I planned this. I drove her out to Bayshore. We had something to eat. Then she told me she wanted to hang out the whole day. All of a sudden, I want to go home. I'm cold. I'm like, are you serious? I went out to Flushing to pick you up to go to Bayshore for an hour dinner. I says, no, we're at least gonna go have a drink. So I'm like, okay, now I'm really gonna get her good. So I took a photo. I was gonna take her to fucking Montauk and leave it there. And I took her to Patchogue, had a drink, and it was snow on the ground. I had a jacket on. So we left the bar, and I put my hands in my pockets. It was cold out. We're walking out the back of the bar. All of a sudden, she puts her hand through like my hand, and she's calling me sweetheart because she thinks I'm spending $700. I says, in my head, what a fucking gold digger. And then that's when the video rolls. That's the story.
Not just
Where
a
did you-
gold
where did
digger,
you meet
but an
this
actual
woman?
crazy person.
I met her on, it was either Plenty of Fish or OK Cupid. I don't remember. I think it was OK Cupid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, working on those sites has got to be, and I think you even mentioned it in one of your videos, infuriating if you're a shorter guy. A lot of chicks will just be like, hey, if you're not 6 foot, don't bother. Like, and so for someone like you, that must be infinitely infuriating.
They have it right on their profile, and when you're treated like a ghost, or you got leprosy, or you're like not wanted in this world, it's very hurtful. It's heartbreaking. You want to die. You want to kill you. All this shit. And then finally, and that was tough enough to deal with alone. And then when you're just trying to go into a goddamn bagel store to get something, and people keep saying, like 4 a.m, and people are making comments, anybody's going to snap after a while. And I finally had enough of this fucking shit. And now, thank God, and rightfully so, and I goddamn deserve where I'm at. Because you know what? I'm going to give a message right now to every one of you motherfuckers that put me down, and you, Frank Maiorino, your high school bully who hits me up, right? Ever since I graduated high school in 92, who spit beer in the side of my face when, at a party when he questioned the fact that I had a real picture of the Virgin Mary that developed from some lady that took a picture of the clouds in an airplane. He's putting down the Virgin Mary. So I called him a piece of shit, and which he is, because for 3 years he would get on the school bus, spit on the floor between my legs. He would make fun of me in class, and when I finally said, "Would you shut up already?" So he whispers to me, "You're dead." So after class, he caught, and I was intimidated by him. He caught, and he wasn't even the biggest guy. He corners me, and I just look away. And then now I become famous, and he had the nerve to text me. I just ignored him because, you know, if God forbid I would have got angry and said anything back, he could have used that and sued me. Who the hell knows? So I just ignore him. But this is the nerve of fucking people. Like, literally. Like, you got to be kidding me. So
go off, King.
Come crawling out of the woodwork.
I'm already going to be fair. When I become mega rich, I want you, Frank Maiorino, you fucking piece of shit. Okay? And all you bitches that think I'm not good enough for you, not tall enough for you, let me tell you something. No, it's not directed towards all women. There's all good in every race. I'm not directing this to every woman because obviously I've gotten along with plenty of women. I'm a nice guy. I'm referring only, I want to clarify this. I'm only referring to those who treated me like shit. Okay? I don't care what anyone thinks of me. This is coming from my heart. All you women that you know who you are, that fucking use me, okay? That fucking, that pretend you like me, and then you take my money and you either ghost me or you dump me or whatever, and you flat out say, "Oh, you're 5 feet, you should be dead." Let me tell you something. I have the last laugh. I'm gonna have the last laugh. Because one day, when I'm on my goddamn yacht with my millions, you all could kiss my motherfucking ass. Thank you.
Hell yeah. I love this attitude.
Yeah. Here's what I'm thinking.
And you want to know what? You know, we can never have flaws, but they can. We can never be wrong, but they can. Okay? Well, that's over. And I'm not only, dude, I've created a fuck. Stop smoking so much, you goddamn jackass. Anyway, you fucking addict. Anyway, the point is this, okay? I am not ever again taking anything from any bully or any bitch that treats me like shit. Now I hold the cards. I choose who I want to fuck. I choose who I want to date, and you're going to kiss my ass if you don't like it. Fuck you all. Fuck you all.
Oh, dude, couldn't agree more with the whole sentiment there. And I like how you integrate so much anti-bullying stuff.
I have a lot of friends, and some of them are tall. They're having problems with women.
You know why?
Shocking. And it's good. When you start talking to people, you know, when you're depressed and you shut yourself from the world, you think it's only you. But then when you get out there and you start talking to people and you hear the stories, you're like, what the fuck? There's a tall guy I fish with who's a good-looking guy. And he told me even at clubs, he would go up to some women and they would go, "Fuck you, get away from me." I says, "You?" So that kind of made, I feel bad for him, but it made me feel better that it's not only happening to us. But the amount of people that, forget about the fame, the money, the weight, all that shit. The fact that I've inspired people is so, like, heartwarming. And to all my fans that I've done that for, I it's my pleasure. It's coming from the heart. Don't ever let any woman crap on you or make you feel like shit. But you want to know what? They're the ones that are unhappy. They're the ones that are insecure. And again, I'm going to reiterate it. Not all women, only the ones that you know who you are and have gold-digging, fucking evil, sneaky-ass fucking intentions. You, once again, could suck my dick. Suck my dick.
Is there one experience with a woman who just was so ruthless to you that it sticks out more than the others?
You mean as far
just
as
like an individual woman who bullied you in a way that it sticks with you because you've gone through it so many times?
No. I wouldn't say bullied. I would never. No, what I would say is more like used me. I would say one of the top ones was that the girl that I left out east, and the one thing that always will always stick out was in like 2004 when a girl said, "Oh, how tall are you again? Oh, you're 5 feet. You should be dead. Your family should be dead." I will never forget that.
She said you should be dead.
Yeah. And ever since that happened,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, ever since that happened, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you all.
Damn.
You kiss my ass.
Well, you did do that really funny thing where you drove by that Pluto woman and then you made her think you were going to stop on a second go around. We watched that the other week on the show. We were cracking our asses up.
Yeah, I was actually going to leave. You want to hear something funny? We were at the bar and then when we left and I did that, I was going to leave. And I was like, you know what? Let me get her again. And the second one was, and one of the first few people I showed it to was not only the people, I went back to the bar, they go, that's hilarious. And they go, you should put that on YouTube. And I was like, good idea. What should I call it? And they go, bitch from Queens. I go, I like that. The people in the Medford post office saw it. They fucking love it. I go, what was your favorite part? They go, that cackling laugh of yours when you fucking got it the second time. I said, you're right.
That's so fucking funny.
So how would you say you're...
And lastly, anybody that thinks that this was a publicity stunt just proves to me how fucking dumb as a brick you people are.
You seem pretty well adjusted now, but like in the past, have you had any mental health issues?
No, I mean, I used to go to therapy and all that, but it was always, oh, you need the help. You need the help. You know what? I've done it for 6 years. It only helps to a degree, but you know what? That's bullshit. Okay? I know what I did. I know what they're doing. I know the world's is fucked up. And the fact of the matter is, I don't need therapy. You fuckers, not you guys, you fuckers that have done this to me, you need the goddamn help. You know why they say I need the help? Because they feel guilty and they don't want to feel that way. So they brush their responsibility away and use reverse psychology as if I got the fucking problem. Yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah. I know something else that you like is pretty thematic in what you do is you're very, very anti-bullying. And I'm sure that is coming from a life of being bullied and whatnot. And you say that it's not the women bullying, it's the women doing these duplicitous things that you don't care for. Is there any story that stands out with guys bullying you over the rest where you were like, man, that really tilted me more than anything?
No, to be honest with you, the only really thing was the high school bully. Most of it was just, some of the women biting the lip thing, like looking at someone behind me and, basically smirking and all that kind of stuff. Excuse me 1 second. What game, the biting lip you're playing? The fuck are you writing on me here, man? This guy's an idiot, man. The fuck is this guy? English. This guy has the worst grammar in the world, by the way.
Is he your assistant?
He's just some guy I found in the street, like with a cup over his head. But anyway.
Dude, you have an exciting life right now. Like you went from a viral video where a ton of people were hating on you to a ton of interviews on mainstream media where a lot of people were empathizing with you, being like, yeah, that would suck to be that short and have to go through all of these rough things that most of us just aren't in a position to empathize with.
I understand that, and I get it. I understand.
Have things picked up at all with the ladies since all this happened?
I'm sorry, sir?
Have you had any more luck with the ladies since all of this stuff has went down?
On and off, but there's something recently happened. I'm not even going to get into it.
Have you monetized this yet? Are you getting paid by ABC, NBC TV shows, the appearances? People want to talk to you.
It's kind of a personal thing. I'll just say that, it's coming here and there. We're starting slow, but there are bigger things lined up. But we're doing okay. Trust me.
Yeah, you don't want people to shortchange you though, because like right now you're.
Did you call me short? No.
I mean,
no. It's everything's contract. Everything's fine. We're not gonna get screwed over. Everything's fine. Everything's documented. They're not gonna screw me. They're great guys. They've done so much for me. They are literally like, I mean, I've had friends that I've known for years, and hold it right there, and they haven't even done half the shit these guys have, and I've known them fucking 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But by the way, so we did some charity stuff. We did one at a place called Pops at Island Park not long ago. We raised a good amount of money for the homeless. Today we just did for Dr. B Fixin, charity for, what the fuck does that say?
It's for the bullies.
Oh, for the bullying thing, right.
Bullied into sport.
You got handwriting worse than a doctor,
They're
pal.
gonna be giving away plastic surgery to somebody.
Oh, that's right. So, in return, he's going to be giving away literally free plastic surgery for somebody. So it's going to a very good cause. So
Maybe a boob job, or like what kind of plastic
Yeah.
surgery are we talking about here?
yeah.
Chris gets to choose the winner.
Oh yeah, I get to choose the winner.
Oh, this
Oh.
can't go well.
Please pick a boob job.
But am I allowed to tell them how much we raised the pops or no? It's irrelevant.
Keep that.
Okay, but we raised a good amount of money for the other day too.
So what are
And
you
when I heard
looking
the
for
number-
in a plastic
Wow.
surgery recipient?
I'm sorry.
They said you just said you were going to pick the plastic surgery recipient, right? What are you
That
going to
is
pick?
correct.
Some pastor prime lady, somebody who needs bigger
I-
boobs. What are you looking for?
I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick. You know what I'm gonna do? Am I
I'm
allowed to say
listening.
this or-
I don't know.
Actually, no. You know what? I don't want to reveal that now, but I have an idea. But basically, don't worry about it. I have an idea. What I'm gonna pick.
You could find that girl that wants to go to Pluto.
Yeah, it's going to be basically somebody you don't expect. So
Nice. So I know you're single now because you've been, hounded for pussy and all that and going on Plenty of Fish and everything. Were you ever married in the past or
I
have any
was,
kids?
yeah. I don't want to get into all my personal shit if you don't.
Sure,
mind.
no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No
but I
problem.
was. Yeah, at one point. I don't have any kids, and I don't want kids. I just don't. It's not me. You know?
Yeah, it's not for everybody. Do you
No.
see this as kind of your golden ticket that you can parlay this into, like you said, a yacht and everything and move
Oh,
on from the
absolutely.
cleaning game? Or do you just
Absolutely.
you like the cleaning game also and you'll stay in it?
No, I'm eventually going to sell the cleaning company.
All right.
Yeah, kind of like a severance package. If
How I hope this plays out is the cash is in this golden ticket and steals Frank's woman. That would be the ending we're all looking for.
Steal that prick's woman. That'd be pretty funny.
Exactly. Yeah, I like the idea.
And you can even upload that to, well, not YouTube, to RedTube as your fucking her. Yeah.
Oh, and what are the repercussions? I got to worry about you coming and beating the shit out of me? I'm not doing that, pal.
No, not him. No, you're talking about your high school bullies lady.
Oh,
Yeah. Don't even get me started with that motherfucker. Man.
yeah, you steal his girl and put it on RedTube. This is the end game we're working on here, Chris.
Yeah. You may be onto something a little bit.
Are you getting recognized in the street now?
Huh?
Now that you've done these videos, are you getting recognized everywhere in the street?
Yeah. I mean, there hasn't been anything serious as far as a lady's concerned that's come across. But yeah, I mean, it's been a wonderful, great experience so far. I mean, traveling, meeting people, and talking to people, and going into bars, and it's like being Elvis. I mean, it's just sick. It's crazy, man.
Dude, I feel like
Crazy.
there are enough women out there who are just so thirsty for fame that they'll throw you just blowjobs on blowjobs at the very least. Right?
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Oh, brag on yourself a little bit. I'm sure the hunting season's been good ever since that video came out.
I'm sorry. I was trying to read this asshole's handwriting.
Oh.
The fumes are getting to him. He's about to get medium.
Instead of writing like a fucking
I
idiot.
got nothing, dude. Fuck off!
Okay, told me to fuck off. Tell me something different. But so what else do you guys want to know?
Oh man, I'm just having fun learning about all the.
I want to
conflict.
know what it was like transitioning from living in an apartment to living in a van, and now where are you living now?
I'm not revealing that, but I'm just saying I'm being.
But you're an indoors guy now.
Yeah, I'm being taken care of. It's
You know,
okay.
I've been pitching
good.
these guys the beauty of van life for like a year now. I have a couple friends who are doing it. I'm a big van
Really?
life, and yeah, I really do.
What, mainly for the money, to save money?
So
For
one
the
of them,
adventure too.
one of them is doing it for the adventure. He actually accumulated some cash and decided he didn't need to work for a couple of years, and
Something different.
he's
Yeah.
been all over America. He's been to Mexico. He's been
Right.
to Canada. That's what he's choosing. The other guy actually does have a house, but he does van life like as a vacation for extended periods,
Right.
3 weeks, 4 weeks, etc.
Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of like the concept of having a camper. It was something I wanted to try it. It was something different, and and like I said, my plan was, if this had never happened, that I was going to look at these fucking morons. Look at this shit. Look at this. That's me when I ain't had pussy in a year. And,
Yeah.
That's him without pussy
you
in
know-
a year.
It's funny. I was fishing at the marina. This is like 2 weeks before I got famous, and this couple's walking this dog with his tongue hanging out. And out of nowhere, I just looked over and I said, "That's me when I'm horny." The whole fucking dock was cracking up, dude. Yeah, it was hysterical.
So did you do van life in New York City? I felt like that's what I picked up.
I'm sorry?
When you were living the van life, was that in New York City?
No.
What,
No,
in New
Suffolk
Jersey?
County, Long Island. Suffolk County, Long Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What did you do for the
Fair
bathroom?
enough.
Just the gym?
Wherever I was, if there was a bathroom there, I would go.
Okay. Yeah, because you're not in the wilderness or anything.
No, I made sure there was.
But I'm saying, like, if you were somewhere there was no bathroom, like, what would you do? Pull out a bag or something?
I would have to. What choice would I have? You know, but I never had to do that, so who gives a shit? But yeah, no, I always made sure that there was, you know. But
And you were still managing to run your business while out of that?
yeah, it was a piece of cake, man.
Shows a lot of discipline. Good for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have a calendar right now. It wasn't a big deal at all. It really wasn't, you know, like when my parents first found out, they were all worried. I'm like, stop worrying. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually having a very good time. I'm fishing with a lot of friends. I'm like, it's really not all that bad. It's really not. It's really not.
When you were in high school and everything, obviously like getting bullied by those pricks and everything, you're clearly now a very funny guy. Do you think that humor kind of developed like as a personality trait or a response to people being pricks to you? Because even if you can get them laughing, usually people will back off.
Get 'em
or if
on
you
your
can insult
side.
them better than they can come at you, then they look like a fool.
I guess it depends on the person, you know, like for example, take the great comedian Don Rickles. You know his
Mhm.
style. If you try to rag on him, he'll roast the shit out of you.
Yeah.
You know, but it depends on the person. But I think now people are probably first of all they talk like men, and they're shocked. And I think most people today like more. They see how intense and angry I can get, and they kind of almost they're either in fear and or they're just nervous or don't know what to think and don't say a fucking thing, which is what I like. Because I'd rather you say nothing than say something to piss me off.
Yeah.
So,
That's fair enough. So
Yeah.
when you see another guy in public who's like your height or even shorter or whatever, is there like
Right.
a kinship there where you're like, we get the struggle. We know what it's like.
Yeah, I have one friend who's slightly taller than me, and you know, I mean, is he not? I think I don't know if he's divorced. I don't remember, but yeah, I mean, you know, we like I said, I told you, taller guys go through it, so it isn't just short guys. But yeah, I have one friend that's kind of he's single now, but you know, he's looking around. But yeah, everybody goes through dry spells and shit. You know, it's normal. Everybody does.
Another clip, and we started before I got to finish it, where you had some sort of an argument with a woman at the library, and it got cut off before it got good. Can you explain kind of what that was? It was a woman there threatening to call the police on you. All you were doing was
she's
filming.
An idiot. She's an idiot. I didn't even do anything wrong. And that guy that wandering back and forth, I know him. That guy was Hector, and he was a former cop. But that shit with the libraries started about 7 years ago, where if I had to answer my phone and I would talk low, they would always come up to me and tell me to get off my phone.
Mhm.
But then I would watch other people talk louder, and when they wouldn't say shit to them. And this happened in the Deer Park Library, Selden, Center Reach, and now Patchogue. And that's when I fucking lost my shit there too. I'm like, why the fuck you always tell me to be quiet? And I'm like, I know exactly why. You know, and then she just looked like a complete. I'll call the cops. I'm like, you heard me on the video. Go for what? For what? And the security guy didn't say a fucking word.
So what? When you said, I know exactly why you're singling me out to be quiet. Why is it?
Because they were probably picking on me and scared to say someone else. They were probably scared to tell someone else not to talk on the fucking phone.
Maybe,
Mm.
And I
yeah.
fucking snapped. I'm like, you treat me like a goddamn kid. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? The policy is that. And oh, like there was a really loud person on the phone one day, and he was cursing up a storm. And that's what led me to make that video. And they could, well, nobody heard him. I says, let me tell you something. Don't fucking play dumb with me. I says, I was at the cubicle there looking for work. The staff members walk by there all day long. You're going to sit here and tell me not one motherfucker heard you? I was like, just shut the fuck up. And that's another thing I'm so disgusted with is how fucking phony people are. I can't stand a lot of people anymore for that reason. Because they're fucking phonies and they're full of shit. You know? And it's like, just be honest, stop being an asshole and tell me the truth. And if you're singling me out Like, do you honestly think if you keep poking a lion through the cage, he's not gonna fucking bite you? You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
give me a
you
fucking break.
you bit back at Bagel Boss.
I'm sorry?
You bit back at Bagel Boss.
No, I have not. Not any Bagel Boss.
No, he's saying you bit back. He's comparing you to a lion. You bite.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry, there's a plane going on overhead. Hold on. I think they're looking for me.
Oh, it's all good. It's
Nah.
all good. I'm gonna have a hoot of a time watching through your videos after this. Is there any one, I guess, altercation you've been in or argument you've been in publicly that you think is funnier than the rest of ones we haven't gone through yet? You know, something you'd recommend to anyone out there who's looking for a laugh?
No, I would have to say most of them are pretty equal in their own
Okay.
way. Yeah.
I really like it when you get into a confrontation with somebody. Like I saw some of them, and you're just on the pier or whatever. They're fishing with your buddy, which seems like your main hobby, right? You do a lot of fishing.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, and golf. I golf too.
You golf. Interesting.
I used to also build the.
Like mini golf.
No, like on the Well, I do the driving and I play on a golf course.
Okay.
Suck ass at golf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so one of my informers told me that we got to kind of wrap it up if you don't mind. If it's okay.
Yeah, that sounds
Of
good.
course, man. Of course.
We're sorry you're short on time.
You want to shout out your social media again so everybody can follow
Yes.
you?
So the company that's helped me out is Great Sauce, like pizza sauce, media.
Is he mentally challenged?
No, I think he was just from a bad environment. Like
Okay.
like he
Well, that'll do it sometimes.
both parents.
Oh, I thought you were
became
asking about the Bagel
disqualified.
Boss. No,
No, we're talking about Blindside.
No,
The plot.
he's-
I mean, he wasn't
Bagel Boss is clearly
100%.
not. Yeah,
He had a
that
real
guy's just
X-Jaws
funny.
kind of moment there. He's like, yeah, when I'm on my yacht with my millions and I got my bitches that love little tykes, it's gonna be goodbye, Brangino, the bully from high school that spit the beer in my face. And it's like, he's probably living a happy life.
He's not
thinking
going to
about
come
spitting beer.
on again now. I didn't want to burn that bridge.
You think that guy is gonna watch this?
Yes.
He did the show from his friend's iPhone. He's not watching this.
And let it be known, this is the first time ever that someone has showed up on a phone without a mic. And Woody's like, don't want to risk ruining this? Let's let it ride.
Yeah. 99% of people, I'd be like, you come back when you show some respect to the gosh darn show.
How's my microphone sound? Woody's like, great.
I like it.
It's real fucking good.
You're killing it. We're all sitting here with $1,000 worth of gear in front of us. Excellent. Nice
He's
job.
magic. I love the guy. I want him back. He's not coming back, but I like him.
He'll come back. He doesn't know about this part where we mock him.
20
and
minutes
laugh.
in, like we just sat there and watched him. Just he's a magician. We watched him.
I
do his
wanted to
show.
go much harder on him. I wanted to go much crueler and harder. And I actually wanted to like make him mad on the show. But he just kept going. He kept flowing, and it was a bit entertaining at times.
He was
It's like an Eminem freestyle at moments.
His friends were smoking weed in the background, and I wanted to use that joke that I was telling you earlier, like oh, don't smoke too much, you'll get medium.
Is that a reference to high?
Instead of getting high, he gets medium.
Yes.
And because he's literally a midget.
When he said that he
5
was
feet.
5 foot, I was like, if he's like everyone else, adding an inch or so, then
Oh yeah.
I thought you had to be like 4'6" or below to be a midget.
I think it's like I thought it was 5 feet or like 4'11". How tall? Is.
Danny DeVito's not a midget, and he's 4'10".
I think he technically is a midget. It's 4'10".
Oh, Danny DeVito's technically a
Yeah,
midget.
you're a dwarf if you're 4'10".
the Little People of America defines dwarfism at 4'10".
Yeah, the little people of America. Like, who cares what they think?
The Little People of America.
They don't
Sponsored
get
by Alan
opinions.
Stepladders. But like I kept putting myself in his shoes though, honestly. I
It wouldn't fit.
Yes. But it's just they're too easy. They're too easy.
They just keep flowing.
Dude, being like 5 foot or below, that is a rough hand to be dealt. Because if you're like 4'4", people will stare because you're a dwarf or whatever. but they'll be like, "Oh man, you're a dwarf. That's like a deformity or an ailment. That's sad." If you're like 4'11", 5 foot or something, people are just like, "Ha ha ha ha! Yeah, you're just short. You're short."
So you're at 4'4". You think it's easier because they're not even in the game. At 5 foot, they're losing the game, and that's
Yeah. By the way, I was trying to bait him into saying some racist, xenophobic stuff. Because
but I don't think he has it in him.
he does. You got to watch the whole video. He's like these two Pakistani guys at 7-Eleven. One of them is like, how tall are you? And he's like, what's it matter how tall I am? And you, what are you smirking at? The other one's smirking at him, but because he's ridiculous looking. I'm sure if you saw him in real life, I bet it's
He's
shocking.
not racist so far in this story.
Oh, he goes, where the fuck are you even from? I'm from Pakistan. You know how much money we give your shithole fucking third world country? You come over here and treat me like this? What if I said I don't like fucking foreigners? He just like he went pretty hard in the paint, and then he calls the cops, and the cops show up, and the cops
he's got the cops on speed dial.
The cops like, what? Cops like, what am I here for?
I like that.
Yeah, what am I here for?
He's like, well, that guy, he asked me how tall I was, and this fucker here, he was smirking. And he's like, okay, well, that's just a comment. He's like, well, it's harassment. He's like, there's no such thing as harassment. That's not a crime. What about sexual harassment? Well, that's more of a civil thing than anything. It's not really a crime. I could take down a note here that says he made a comment you didn't like. You could do that. He's like, yeah, do that. Like, all right, noted.
I thought it was great. We learned a new detail in the Bagel story, which was the big guy pushed him down, had his knee in his back. He was pressing on him so hard that he could barely breathe, and his shirt pulled over his head, and he was trying to call 911 at the time with whatever mobility he had left.
I was about to say he's the biggest fake tough guy, but that doesn't really fit. He's the littlest fake tough guy ever. Like, he challenged that man to a physical altercation.
But that's different than fake tough guy. It's like a chihuahua, right? They literally do want to fight. They just don't realize they're not good at it.
Okay, I'll buy into that. I'll buy into that.
Yeah.
He's
not a guy who's like acting like he's tough, and then when it's game day, running the other way.
I don't know. He acted like he was tough. He challenged the guy. He said, sort of come at me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy comes at him, and he's just like curls up in a ball as the guy throws him on the floor. And then he has that reaction like women have when they hit a man and the man hits back. And they're like, why?
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, but there is a responsibility, I think. If someone's 4'11" and they like step up to you, it's like,
dude,
no, I'm gonna go to jail if we get in a fight.
I'm torn on that because, like, what if it was a girl who stepped up to me and just said things? I don't think there'd be any cause to hit her, right?
Unless you did it every day.
If she hits you, then you get a chance to come back. Do you apply those same rules to the guy if he ineffectively like chest shoves you? Do you have free reign, Taylor, to unleash the guns on him?
Most you're allowed to do, steal his bagel and run.
I can't have you putting your hands on me, like even if he's little, like I literally had that altercation in high school where like I had let a thing go before because the opponent was smaller, and then I got ragged on it for it, like, oh, you let so-and-so punk you. And it's like, well, look at him. I didn't feel like it was right to attack him. And so it got into my head. I was like, in the future, I can't let anybody do that. I can't let them put their hands on me, or I look like even worse. I thought I was going to look good for just walking away, but I looked even worse than I would have if I fought him and lost almost. So the next time I had an altercation with this poor pale boy who thought I had broken his necklace. This is a true story. Essentially, I don't know, some other guy who was an actual bully, like, got this kid's necklace. This is the early 2000s where we wore these
Puma shells, I hope.
Puka shell? Yeah.
Puka shell, and then the wooden beads and shit like that. Very Islander looking,
Cool
kind of
fuck.
like Salt Life shit.
You know what? That's my time. Still cool to me.
I mean,
frozen there.
We all had one of those necklaces. And
I did.
the actual bully throws his necklace across the room. Well, I don't know anything about that. I look down and there's a necklace on the floor, and I pick it up and it's broken. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just take these beads off of here. I was just like dissecting this necklace, which was already broken. And he walked up and just hit me. in the stomach as hard as he could. And my mind went through that whole process of like, I don't think I can let this go. We're in open class here. Everybody just saw that guy hit me. So I started hitting him in the face over and over and over. And he grabbed my shirt, not to try to retaliate, but literally to hold on for his balance. But when you're already engaged in a fight and someone's holding on to you, there's sort of I was panicked. I was like, get him off me. I got to get him off me. And so I just kept punching him in the face. And by the time it was over, there was so much blood. I hit him maybe 6 times, like in the mouth, nose area, just straight and hard. And they had to bring
How many
the
of those hits was he still with it for? Like 1, 2?
After the first one, he was not with it. I hit him in the nose the first time. It's pretty much hard as fuck.
So this is a world star hip hop style fight. He's on the ground and you decide he
it
needs
didn't
half
stop
dozen more.
until the teacher screamed, Kyle! Stop! and it sort of like, I was like, oh shit. Oh no, what have I done? And I felt terrible about it because, like, I wasn't some big bad. Anybody could have beaten his ass. He just shouldn't have attacked me. Saying like, if that bagel bite comes at you in public, what if your wife's there and the bagel bitch fucking shoves you and says, "Come at me, bro"? When you just all you did was say, "Hey, man, go easy on Yolanda over there. She's doing the best she can to get your egg whites done. All right, if she snickered." She didn't mean it, you know? How about that? And hey, it's a free country. She can laugh at you if she wants to. You're kind of fucking funny. And then he's like, "Come at me, bro. Like bring it," you know, just sort of like.
But think
almost
about it
punking
like
you
this: like every single day,
Doesn't work.
there's another straw dropped on that camel's back. You know, just a little bit, just another little smirk, another little, you know, tee-hee at your expense. Eventually, you're gonna fucking lose it because basically, it's your entire masculinity being questioned 24/7 all the time. And he clearly sees like, well, I gotta go Joe Pesci mode all the time. Otherwise, I gotta have my fucking pen in my pocket ready to stab somebody. Yeah, is there a little girl in here? Did you hear a little girl crying? Yeah, that kind of shit.
There's a big tough guy here. Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? So now
I know I can't change him, but if I could, it would be like he's funny. He's kind of quick-witted. Like he has some tools to work with. The threat of violence is not in his toolbox. That's not one that he should be pulling out all the time like he seems to.
No, and like no, not at all.
If I were him and I got in those, I would just lie about being an attorney the whole time.
That's brilliant. I love that. That's great.
Put you into the poorhouse.
Yeah,
I specialize in video game release dates.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I don't know other forms of litigation.
Don't you be short with me. I see you all looking down at me, judging me.
Yeah. Like if he just, I don't know, if he made fun of people, he could be quick-witted. He could get good at that. Like
I'll take you to Little People's Court.
I thought you were onto something when you were like, "Hey, do you think a lifetime of people smirking at you has made you, funny?" It's just a shame it's made him aggressive because that's not working for him.
Yeah, and definitely like xenophobic, homophobic, and misogynist. Yeah, we play those things on the internet for fun, for funsies. But I think he's an actual one because he well, Taylor's like, yeah, I mean, bitches beat bitches. Fuck 'em.
Wait, the misogynist thing, that part's true.
No, I love that, Kyle. Every time he was like, and once again, I'm just saying this is not all women. This is just women who have treated me like crap, like shit. And Kyle's,
Somebody linked me a comment. I'm not sure where it was posted, but it was like, my favorite podcast stars a racist, a misogynist, and a 48-year-old tech millionaire. How did this happen? And somebody goes, what about Kyle and Taylor?
Oh, I'm all of them. I did me
yeah,
and a moron. Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed him. Like he served his purpose. That's exactly what I was looking for. When we have somebody like I don't know, name a guy, Aaron Foster, or whatever, any of the people who's, I don't remember any of our guests. I never do. I forget them the day after. But you know, the guy with the big forehead, whatever his name is,
Steve Hofstetter.
Yeah, that guy, or
Boogie.
Richard Ryan, or somebody like that. It's like, I want to know what's going on in your life, and I'm going to have an intelligent conversation with you if I can live up to those levels. But With this guy, it was like, let's just see what this fucking
He was
psychotic
brilliant.
dude is saying.
Like, I thought he was podcast gold.
We'll see what the audience thinks. I enjoyed him. I will say that. I thought that it drug a little bit at times, but I think for the most
the
part,
end,
it was.
I thought.
I had fun personally sitting here.
20 minutes
Yeah.
in, I was giddy. Like it. What I think of the show impacts my mood that weekend it goes live, right? If it's just an average show, I'm like, man, I wish I was puffing my chest out right now at this one. 20 minutes in, I was like, I can't wait to release this. You know?
Oh yeah, people are gonna crack the fuck up at
Yeah.
that first hour. Like that's a good one.
I hope so. I'm glad we got him. You know, we I mentioned last week that the Chiz was working on that.
Yeah, big ups to
diligently.
Chiz.
Yes,
Big
I
ups
was
to
thinking
Chiz.
the same thing. Yeah, I'm really glad that we got him, and I haven't seen him all over, so it's a good get.
I think he did Jim and Sam show.
He did.
Jim Norton,
Yeah.
Sam Roberts.
Okay, well that's a
He
good.
did
I'm
I heard that was an
fine
absolute
being
disaster.
in that league.
Was it?
Yeah. So I don't know. Somebody PM'd me that like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, I didn't see that.
Good disaster or a bad disaster? Because disaster's
they
not
said
bad.
They said bad disaster,
Oh.
but I mean, maybe we pulled something out of them that Jim Norton and Sam Roberts were.
I like
Yeah,
I
Jim
think
Norton
so.
isn't much taller.
Yeah.
So fair enough.
I
They felt right at home.
mean, if you had to fuck Jim Norton or that guy, you'd definitely pick that guy.
I
You
was
mean I have to
Norton.
have sex with one of them?
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
have.
Oh, I'm
have
taking the
sexual
Bagel
relations.
Boss.
I'm taking the Bagel Boss.
I hope
all
he's
right?
flattered
I'd take
by
the
this.
Pluto bitch.
Oh, the Pluto bitch
wait,
was
is
like
she on the menu? Because she's a good solid 4.
Yeah, thank you, Woody. And the mental illness bumps her up to at least a 5.
We all have our type.
That's true. She wants to cosplay as spacemen. That'd be fun. Or not cosplay. What's it called? Role play. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be both. There'll be a costume involved for sure.
I was glad to get the explanation on the $750,000 he lent her. Because
I'll take you to Pluto. We're gonna make a pit stop at Uranus first. Though.
Wait, did he use that joke too?
No, he didn't. He's not that funny.
He said something. I thought he said something. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we made
Yeah,
that
that's a
joke.
good line. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we got him. It was a lot of fun having him on. I don't know what to think about him as a human being. I think he's literally mentally ill, and probably we all would be if we had to live a life like that. It might be better off for him if he were even a little shorter than right there at the cusp.
Taylor was saying that.
That was my point. Yeah, you may
Yeah.
as well go full dwarf. You never go, full
Right.
dwarf.
People
but
don't
you do.
snicker
Yeah.
at who played Tyrion Lannister. I forget his real name.
Peter
Oh,
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, they just say, "All right, this is the guy's a little person."
Yeah,
But our man Bagel Boss he's in the game.
he's right on that cusp.
Yeah.
Like he's
I
he's not at the level of having okay, so nobody laughs at people with handicaps. Well, all right, not in public anyway. We wait till nobody's looking. But what I'm getting at is you don't laugh at
We
I
do
wouldn't
on
laugh
the
at
show all the time.
oh, right. My argument's falling apart right in my hands. It's just like sand.
But we don't do it in public, and we certainly don't do it on a podcast for hundreds of thousands of people to download off iTunes. Yeah, certainly not
What
that.
I'm getting at, I guess, is like he's just the shortest man, but he's not the tallest dwarf. And one of those is substantially better than the other, in my opinion. Being the tallest dwarf, it's like what I was saying to you guys a week or two ago. It's like, the one-eyed man is king in the world of the blind.
Mm-hmm.
He needs that in his life. He needs to be going to those little people conventions, the fucking lollipop guild, fucking. I so wanted to tell him that he should live in Kansas because it was cheaper when he was talking about the cost of real estate in New York.
That would have been funny.
Like, hey, there's no place like home. That's what they say. It's nice there.
Your little digs were getting so ham-handed.
They were
by the
obvious
end.
to me.
I was like, he's got to react to one of these.
He was, but I thought he was actually keeping his cool more than I expected based on his videos.
I didn't like
He
that.
definitely.
That's why
saw
they
the
kept
bait.
getting more and more juice as we went.
You're right about the dwarf convention thing because, like I said, I'm almost positive that the Dwarves of America convention is just a fuck fest.
Yeah. Do you think they would
spend all
shun
their money
him
on
if he
booze
showed
and
up?
drugs because they only need twin beds? They're set.
Taylor,
But
would,
if he
would they
showed
shun
up
him
at
if
the sex fest, they'd be like, "What are you doing here? You can't join the dwarf fuck fest.
Right.
You're not a dwarf."
some 4'9" guy who's used to ruling the world is going to be like, "Get out of here."
Yeah.
This is I'm the tall man here.